Episode 84, guys, of the DREWCAST. Back with me in studio, my disembodied but never bodied voice, J.O. Welcome to the 1% gang, dog. I cuss too, we're not supposed to cuss in the first minute, but when you're in the 1% gang, I'm cussing. You know what I mean? I posted this on Instagram and Facebook this week, but yeah, bro, apparently, once you release a certain episodes of podcasts and you're this consistent, you're in the top 1%. Everybody give a clap for the 1%ers.
21 episodes. And
we've done more on both shows, the DREWCAST and... Everybody clap it up for the DREWCAST. Woo! Yeah. We had to... This is pretend more people are clapping. Yeah. No, it's fine. No, yeah, it does. This is where it's hard work. It's hard. It's what we've dreamed of. But yeah, no, talk to us different now, bro. Honest to God. And you know, we never really... We're really humble, bro, music-wise and podcast-wise, but we gotta stop. You know what I mean? When you're in the 1% of this gang, you know, I'm not gonna be humble no more. But no, I'm playing. Yeah, tonight's episode, guys, we're gonna run through some stuff, a lot of cool stuff. We're gonna start off. If I know Justin doesn't watch Game of Thrones, everybody boo, boo. That's right, boo, boo this man, but. Yeah, he does, and we're gonna get him to watch it one day. Hopefully when he grows up a little bit, but maybe when he turns 30. But you know what I mean. But yeah, the new show though on HBO Max, guys, if you haven't, and it's great, House of the Dragon. I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on it real quick. If you haven't watched the House of the Dragon and you're a fan of Game of Thrones, come back to the video when you watched it, and we'll have a little chat about it in the comment section. But you know what I mean. But yeah. So House of the Dragon, guys. House of the Dragon just had its second episode last Sunday. And let me tell you, I did it. So after the way Game of Thrones ended, after D&D fucking destroyed our dreams, because they did, I said to myself, never again will I allow such a thing to have a hold on me. But dude, after episode 2, I got pulled right back in. You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to you where you said, hey, I'm not doing this no more? You can have it. And then it is, you know what I mean? Like Michael Corleone or Corleone, whatever. I don't care. But you remember he left the mafia? Every time he tries to leave, you guys pull me right back in, dude. And that's what happened. This show, bro, this is why I like Game of Thrones. And this is why I like the spinoff show, because the writing is just so good. That's why I liked Breaking Bad. That's why I liked Sons of Anarchy. That's why I liked Game of Thrones. Like, when I talk about the upper echelon of shows, those shows fall in that. And House of the Dragon, bro, and let me tell you, Matt Smith, bro. You know who Matt Smith is? He's played Doctor Who. You know what he looks like, though, right?
I could look it up, but no.
Okay, I
don't even know what Doctor Who is, to be honest with you.
We're going to need you to do a little look up. Okay, not playing, but yeah, please. But he was born to play Daemon Targaryen, bro. I mean, let's be real. Like when you see Matt Smith in like the outfit for this show, he literally looks like a real life Targaryen, like somebody who was from that family. Not only that, his acting is so good in the show that's one of the like. There's not a bad character yet. Like literally, there's not a bad. In my opinion, there's not a bad character. I know some people were complaining because I guess in the books, one of the characters was a white guy. They made him black in the show, right? Who cares, bro? Like, you know what I mean? I get it. It's kind of like okay, but to me, bro, even his character's hella good. I mean, overall, bro, the show is doing a great justice to people who like Game of Thrones. And honestly, right, it's reeling us back in. That's what we need. Like, the Game of Thrones is so important to a lot of people, and it's important to, like, I don't want to say like the TV culture, but bro, it is, right? And the way they ended it in season 8, you can't have that. You know what I mean? One of the best shows of all time. I'm telling you, I've been telling you this, Justin, but seasons 1 through 7, arguably 1 through 6, some of the best TV shows moments I've ever seen. I mean, seasons 1 through 6 was some of the best TV ever, bro, when it comes to Game of Thrones. I mean, But I know you probably hate hearing all of us and your friends talk about that, but bro, it is. I mean, it's to the point where like I geek out just like rewatching some of the scenes. I'm like, how did they fit so much in this? There's so much intricate writing happening at the same time, and I don't know, bro. So House of the Dragon, guys, have you seen it? If you haven't, come back, bro. Come back, like I said, because it's an awesome show. I don't want to get too spoilish. I don't want to get too much into spoilers because I will be doing a full season 1 review at the end. I just wanted to give my quick thoughts because if you guys are scared and you guys are nervous after this, the way season 8 ended, don't be. Come back. Come back, everybody. Let's go, bro. I was so pumped, dude. Like literally the other night, dude, I had a sandwich. I had some beer from my keg, you know what I mean? And because I fancy those, but yeah, and I was watching it. I was like, why won't Justin watch this, bro? Like, is there just something like...
No, it's not personal. I
know,
like,
but it feels personal, though.
I don't like consuming...
If you ask Cole, bro, it feels personal, dude.
I don't like consuming, like, television and movies and...
You sound like an alien. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't sound like a robot, dude. Like an AI, dude. I don't
feel like it's a big-ass waste of time.
I love you, bro,
like,
but the way you just said, like, I don't consume media. No, I get it. But I mean, like, out of all the shows you shouldn't be doing this to, I just sort of like, oh, listen, like, join the team, dude, already. But yeah, speaking of stuff that I've watched recently that is very, very good. Nope. Have you seen Nope yet? I don't think I've asked you.
No, I haven't. And,
but like, you and Kylie should though. Like, it's awesome, dude.
So we were going to because 2 days ago, I believe it was. She was trying to find something to watch. She couldn't find nothing to watch. And then I had recommended like looking at movies to rent instead. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if you can't find nothing on streaming, just try to find like a newer movie. You might like one of those. She came across Nope, and then she was like, "Oh, I've never heard of this before." I was like, "Oh," I showed her the trailer, and then we went to Apple TV to like try to rent it, and it was $20 just to rent.
Oh, why didn't you just pirate it, dude?
I could have, but yeah. I don't know, bro. That's another topic for another thing. But like, why the fuck is it $20 just to rent the movie? Because you know how like on streaming platforms, there's panels that you scroll through?
Yeah.
That panel to the left of Nope was Top Gun, which is arguably, if not the biggest movie of the year, like box office wise and ratings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is one of the, I would say
you could buy that movie for $20. Literally buy it, but Nope is $20 just to rent. You know that had to have been like a studio decision, but like why?
Well, I thought like in years past with Jordan Peele, a lot of his movies were like that. Like Candyman, I know he produced it. He didn't direct Candyman, but you know, with Us and Get Out, they were never really on streaming platforms that I can remember.
Us and Candyman are both on streaming platforms.
Well, I meant like now they are, but I meant like when they first came out, like you had to wait. Like Candyman, like I don't think it was on HBO Max, Netflix, or Hulu for like the longest time, bro. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's just how they do business with him. Like maybe. And I'm not saying
Apple TV isn't even a streaming platform. It's just like the store for Apple products.
Well, in a recent interview with the New York Times, Jordan Peele says there's more stories to tell in that world, which got me excited because I was like, hey, I've been saying this. Like, hey, if they do a sequel, they could do it really good, right? Like, where did the UFO come from? What is it? Like, could we get more lore into that? Is there like what else in the world of Nope could we expand on, right? Which got me excited. A lot of fans pointed out that there's a character in the trailer that got cut from the film. And in the credits, his name is Mr. Nobody, right? And so even Jordan Peele said someone like Mr. Nobody can get his lore expanded on. Which, like, who the fuck is Mr. Nobody? You know, that sounds like a villain for sure. I mean, he's not a good guy, I don't think. If he name's Mr. Nobody, like, come on, don't waste a good villain name on a.
You think they're gonna go the Prey route?
Well,
and just do a Nope story and like.
That would be cool. No, they could. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be with the same characters from the first movie. It could be, like, and maybe in like, you know, 1700s America.
I'm sure, yeah.
And like it's the same thing, and like how they saw it. Maybe we get a movie where like early humans see it, and that's where they get God and the gods from. That would be. I'm getting kind of goosebumps talking about it, dog. What, dude? They see that thing. Oh, that's a god. We must pray to that god.
Isn't it like inspired by biblical stuff? Isn't that what you were telling me?
Yeah, like the look of it and like at the end and everything. Well, you'll see it when you and Kylie watch it, but for sure it is. The look was inspired by biblical angels, man. What they said angels look like in the Bible.
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not paying fucking $20 to rent a movie, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know what you could do. You just stream it, pirate it for free, or just go on there and say, "Oh nope, I'm not renting it. I'm going to pirate it for the one piece." But yeah, I it got me excited, bro. Honestly, like Nope was. I know there's a lot of people who don't like the movie and they say there's too much going on, but you got to be kind of dumb to say that, in my opinion. I know like movies are subjective and everybody does have their own opinion. So if you don't like Nope, I'm not saying you're dumb for not liking it, right? But when people say stuff like that, well, the reason a lot of that stuff was happening in the movie is because it plays in to like the ending with his relationship with Jean Jacket, and it's so, I mean, if he decides to do a sequel, cool. But what you just said, they do a Nope movie in like a different time era. It's the same, UFO, but different people. Like, bro, I'm game, bro. And I think a lot of people would like that, dude. So Prey kind of introduced us to that way of movie making where, yeah, you could have it in the same universe, but let's see how the Native Americans handle it. Let's see how the Aztecs handle it, or people from old Mexico, or people from ancient Ireland, or something like that, right? That's cool, bro. So if you guys haven't seen Nope, you should watch it. If you have, comment below. Let us know how you like the movie. If you didn't, like I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say like you're dumb for not liking it, but honestly, bro,
that's actually a really interesting thing that we should look into. Why haven't movies really done that up until like now? I feel like
with that whole going back into a different,
yeah.
Well, because weren't they talking about doing that for
or if they that's what I was gonna bring up too. Actually, is like maybe there are movies that have done that we just don't know about, or they weren't mainstream. But I feel like it would be a good movie to do that because they claim that this thing has been here for thousands and
or hundreds of years,
or like prehistoric, pretty much. So like, how did people handle that in their generation?
That's such a good like. What is something else, before we get off that topic though, what is something else that we could actually compare it to? Like, what is something that you can think of that if you, like a movie wise, right? Like Prey, Nope, that if you put them in that time period, how would those people handle it? Damn it, I can't really think of something off the top of my head right now. I know, what is something like Jeepers Creepers would be a cool one. Right, that's something that like
you're going to like basically the prequel lore of a story.
Yeah, and it's like, even though it's a prequel and we know how it sort of ends up, I would still be interested to see how like colonial America handles Jeepers Creepers. Mm-hmm. Like, what did they think that was? Like, because that's actually the fascinating part about stuff like that is like, what would people from ancient time periods or just like older time periods, what would they think of like a Nope UFO or Jeepers Creepers, or what would they think of it, the clown, like Pennywise? Like, what would they think of that? Like, I know like a lot of people tend to in certain time periods they have like a hive mind way of thinking, So yeah, guys, like I said in the beginning, watch Nope if you haven't. If you have, let us know how you thought about it. And so the last couple things I'm going to go through tonight are so earlier this year, I was geeking out with you guys about the James Webb Telescope stuff. And like, this stuff is so fascinating because you could take it a lot of directions, right? And I'm glad you're here, Dustin, because it's not that, which I love Josh, by the way, but he's a flat earther, dude. You know what I mean? And he might be joking. Sometimes I don't think he's joking, but I feel like me, you, and Josh are like we're like on a really good timeline of like different ways of thinking about space stuff, right? And so you're kind of like in the middle. You don't think everything's fake, but you do question a lot of things, which is important because like stuff like this, right? We're looking at Jupiter right here in infrared, basically, right? And so this was one of the newer pictures that came out, I believe, earlier this week. Like, that's just crazy. That's just sitting in space, and that because Jupiter's a gas giant. That's just sitting in space. And like a vast darkness, like what is that? You know what I mean? Like, now that we've seen pictures of Jupiter before, but now that we're looking at it, and then you start to like really like think, because I think a lot of people see stuff like this, like especially in the past, they would see stuff like this picture of Jupiter, and like you don't really understand it. right? And like the human mind isn't really meant to understand stuff like this. A lot of us, right? So we see stuff like this and we're like, it kind of scares us. And we kind of just like bury it, I would say. We're kind of like, oh, yeah, whoa, what is that, right? Because like, how do you explain that to certain things? You know what I mean? Like when you really dig deep and think about it in your head, you're like, oh, this thing's just a gas giant floating out in the vast darkness of space. And it's circling around a sun with other planets too. Like why? Like, you know, so that stuff is fascinating to look at. Jupiter is very, from what I can see, is very colorful. Looks like a marble. Literally just looks like a space marble, dude. You know? I haven't done enough research on gas giants, but like, I'm assuming you can't really live on its surface if it's a gas giant. Maybe you can, but a gas giant just seems like kind of like, Bespin from Star Wars, you know, on Lando's, when they go to visit Lando in episode 5, like he's like living in the clouds on like these, like, that's kind of what it seems like it would have to be if you lived on a planet like that, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know,
I wonder how something like that even forms, bro.
Well, like a gas giant?
Because if there's no surface or anything like that, it's just literally all gas, like what's containing it into a spherical shape.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to do more. I would have to do more research on this, because when it comes to gas giants, not the smartest guy in the room. You know, as I've been studying more and more about space, it's just a lot of stuff is just fascinating, and it kind of proves like, hey, bro, like it's kind of like really like, okay, so we're gonna go into the next one I want to show you guys from the James Webb Telescope. So this right here is the latest image. This actually just dropped like maybe a couple days ago. This one's called the Phantom Galaxy. Home to 100 billion plus planets, right? Now, again, I mentioned this when we were looking at the picture of Jupiter, right? That right there, okay, if you believe what you are being shown to be true, should haunt you. Like, this should freak you out just looking at this, right? Now, like I said, the human mind isn't meant to comprehend everything. This right here, though, I mean, if there's 100 billion plus planets, there's life somewhere other than us. Like, there's life we're looking at life right now. When we see this picture, that is life. Look at the middle too. It's like perfect. It's like a blue eye in the middle. Looks like that's crazy. That's crazy that we're literally looking. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is just floating out in the middle of vast dark space. Like what? Like then you start to think, what is space? What is this encased in? Is it encased in something? Does it go on forever? Is there no end? Like that looking at this stuff kind of freaks you out. But I mean, if you had any doubts that there was no other life besides us, hey, bye doubts. Bye. There's other things, dude. You know, the crazy thing is, like, is the life in that galaxy, is it even can you even fathom that they would even look anywhere near us? You know, I've heard a bunch of people recently talk like that. You know, like, would that life even be remotely close to what we look like? Do they act like us? It's just fascinating, bro, that we might not ever know. And maybe it was designed that way, that they were created so far away from us that, you know, maybe interaction isn't the best thing, but because it'd almost be like cats trying to interact with fish. You know, they do live on the same planet, right? Cats and fish. And cats do, I'm assuming they eat fish, right? But it's like trying to interact. They're not going to interact, bro. They literally live on the same planet. They're not interacting. They can't comprehend to each other, or they can't comprehend what each other is saying. That's just crazy to me, dude. If you guys comment below with this picture of the Phantom Galaxy, like, dude, that's crazy, bro. And the crazy thing is, a lot of those planets, we're looking at it, we're basically time traveling when we look at this, right? Like, let's say this thing is certain light years away. We're literally looking at something that's in the past. So if we were to travel there now, I mean, a lot of the stars there might not even be there, bro. Like, shit could have happened from that time. Shit could have happened to where they either died out, like a catastrophes happened. Another thing too, I don't know if you read this, Justin, but they were the furthest that the telescope can actually look out. They were thinking that a lot of galaxies that were new forming would have a certain look because it was so close to the Big Bang. But what they're learning is those galaxies don't really look different, right? So the theory of the Big Bang is actually being put into question because now they're like, wait a minute, these look already formed. They don't look different, or they don't look like what we thought they would look like coming out of the Big Bang. So is there really a Big Bang, or does the goddamn universe go on forever, bro? Like, that's scary to think about, dude. So this one is an artist rendition, right? So this isn't actually from the James Webb Telescope, but the James Webb Telescope has detected carbon dioxide, CO2, in the atmosphere of a planet outside of our solar system, right? So what I was just showing you was an artist rendition. So I was on Twitter when I was reading this because that's where I get my updates on the James Webb. And this Twitter user right here, she says, presence of CO2 means presence of oxygen and water. Finally, we found our new home. I don't know about that, right? Because she's finally our new home. Like, I don't know. What if we get there and they're racist? But no, but it's the way she said it, right?
I don't even think you could if you wanted to. 700 light years away would mean that we would most certainly...
Either we died getting there, or when we get there, they're already dead.
Well, we can't live 700 years anyway, so it'd have to be multiple generations of...
people doing it.
But then, like, what if you get there and it's not habitable at all?
It's actually a gas giant, though. So, like, the planet that they're talking about, which I'm actually going to pull it up right here, that planet is actually a gas giant, right? So it's 700 light years away. A gas giant as big as Saturn orbits its star in hours, right? So NASA Webb's study of the world is the basis of this illustration, which isn't like, so people on Twitter were like, that's computer generated. Yeah, because it's an artist rendition, you know what I mean? But you can see hot puffy WASP 39b close to its sun-like star, exploring the planet in its 3D environment. So they called it WASP 39b. I don't know what the WASP part means. So again, there's certain things that I'm not super educated on in the science world, but you know what I mean? So we're going to start seeing like this. So that obviously James Webb isn't going to last forever because it has a certain shelf life. So, but as the years and months go on, we're going to see more stuff like this. And I don't know what you consider this to be, but it kind of seems like a very slow rollout of disclosure to us. And not just alien disclosure. I'm talking like just like life disclosure. You know, a lot of people, which is crazy because I'm not saying that like people are completely wrong for thinking this stuff is fake, but everything can't be fake, you know? And at the end of the day, like, do I want to be on the people's side who are flat earthers, or do I want to have some hope that what we're being told is somewhat true?
Right? I don't think it's going to matter anyway, bro. If you think it's true, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything of any significance is going to happen while we're alive. So I don't think it even matters to begin with.
Yeah. You know, now that
like,
you said
say
that,
like right now today, they're like, hey, we found this planet 700 light years away. We're going to go look at it, and this might be the new Earth. You're going to die. Your kids are going to die. Your grandkids are going to die. Their kids are going to die. And maybe like 2 more of that will happen before they even get there. So like, what does it mean to you today?
Today don't mean shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, whether you believe in it or not, I don't think anything significant is going to happen while we're alive. So
now that you say that, I kind of feel like not when me and you are alive, but even if Avery and Noah have to be old for this to happen, I think by the time they get old, there's going to be answers for some stuff like that. There's going to be answers to whether there's other life on other planets.
No, that stuff might be answered while we're alive. I'm talking about like this shit, like space, planetary, whatever the word is.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we're never going to know the answer. Well, me and you are alive for sure, no. And which sucks because, like, why not, you know? But
any information they feed us now, we can't figure out an answer for it just based off, like, how far this shit away is. So, whether it's real, fake.
And you also get into the whole, does everybody deserve to know the answer to it? Right? Like, some people are just so ignorant, bro. They're never going to believe it's real. They're always going to believe it's a computer-generated, the devil. And it's just like, so there's certain things that should be kept from us. But I don't know if you agree with me on that. I used to not
Being
think that.
kept from us.
Yeah, I used to not think that, but now that like I'm seeing certain things unfold in front of me, I'm like, damn, some of you are just so dumb. Like maybe they shouldn't tell us everything. Just how fast misinformation spreads and how quick people are able to gain like a cult following off like flat Earth
that
type
too.
shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna end the night off, guys. NASA released a recording of what a black hole sounds like, and I want to listen to it with you guys, and I'm gonna play it for Justin. And yeah, while this plays, just imagine a black hole in front of you, and I don't know if you would be able to hear this from like a ship or like in space, but if you could, this didn't sound like this. Sounded crazy, dude. So I'm gonna press play right now. Which I gotta look more into this, but I don't even know how they were able to get this. That'd be cool to like learn how they did this, you know?
Kind of just sounds like the street outside your window when we record.
Yeah, the Mach 5. So yeah, they're saying this is what a black hole sounds like, and it's a black hole from another galaxy. I don't know which galaxy. But like stuff like that, now we're getting into the age where we can hear what a black hole. I mean, now they kind of showed us what ours black holes should look like, but not really like a good picture. But I mean, if this black hole is able to like distort space and time around it, I don't even know if like even something like the James Webb would be able to get a good picture. Like, how can something get a good picture and when this thing's literally distorting space and time around it? Like, I don't think you would be able to get like a really clean looking picture of something like that, you know? And just think, before we end the episode, just think, this thing is floating out in vast darkness of space, right? Amongst things like planets and stars, and it's just eating everything around it. It's just destroying and disturbing everything around it, like space and time. What is that? Like, you've just to think, like this thing just out in the middle of goddamn space, but then every galaxy has one. So now I'm thinking, what if like the black holes are just meant to like recycle space and time around it? And because they have a theory that there's something called a white hole, right? It's like the unicorn of like the space world. And what if the white hole disperses what the black hole has taken, and it just recycles space and time throughout the universe? Like, that would make hella sense, bro. But yeah, if you guys comment below, what did you guys think of the black hole sound? Did you guys think it's real? Did you guys think it's scary? And yeah, that's episode 84, guys.
I wonder what like floating. I wonder what like floating through space. You'd probably die just even floating in space in general. But like think about like floating in space, right?
Uh-huh.
And like in front of you is just this big fucking
like black hole.
Just you know how it looks like almost like a hurricane, where it's just like a warping circular vortex of just nothing.
Yeah.
You're just looking at that, getting sucked into it, pause, and then you just hear that noise.
Yeah, imagine all the flat earthers, like they're getting like wow, I guess everything was real.
You're just like looking into like a big void of nothing, just I
bet that'd be so
and then
scary.
You just hear like that noise in your ears, and you're just Jack's telling it into the fucking
right into the black void.
Uh-huh. That'd be terrifying.
It's like, I should have apologized to my mom when I was a child. We shouldn't have beat for 10 years. But yeah, no, that's funny, dude. But yeah, no, episode 84 tonight, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for supporting me on TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the music channel, all the good stuff. Thank you, Justin, for showing up again. And till next time, my brethrens and sisters, peace.